guys, thanks for stopping back by. Can you believe it is already time for Saturday at the Springs again? It seems like we just did this, and here we are at the weekend already. Here we are already 3 days into May. I do not exactly know what is happening to time, what happened to April. We've got, what are we, like probably 20 days from update 5? This is, or update 6. I don't even know what update we're on. Update 5, maybe? We are just rolling right along. I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably interested in the new cafe. If you didn't catch the video last night, Grizzly Gulch has its own quick service restaurant now in the form of Bearpaw Cafe that, we were talking last night that we think collectively fits with the area and the aesthetic just perfect. And thanks to your guys' feedback, I haven't put it on the workshop yet, but a lot of you guys were like, the only thing I think you need to do is take out that bottom layer of fake windows. And you guys are like, Estan, just put real ones in. It'll look cooler when people are walking by and you can see people in there eating and just hanging out in there. So that's what I did. I kind of did my own custom kind of Western windows you see here. And yeah, we can look right in now to Bearpaw. And I also did it over here on the back side as well, kind of where those booths are. I got to get a little barrier up right here because they're wanting to kind of cut through that little corner. But yeah, look, we can look all through the restaurant now. And if you guys want, I know, like, obviously I haven't done the interior yet or finished anything on the inside, but I could go ahead and get this on the workshop. And if you guys have any ideas for your own interiors, have at it. And then maybe once I get around to really doing an acceptable interior, I'll just update my blueprint. So yeah, this was such a fun project. Only took me, you guys watched a 10-minute time lapse. In real time, this was like an hour and 20 minutes. It was by no means, a very time-consuming build. It's one of those weird things where I'm like, I can't believe I put it off for so long. This little area was just intimidating. I know that we needed to nail it, and I think you almost make it tougher on yourself as a creator when you leave spots like this open for so long, and it's almost like you unintentionally build the build anticipation for what's going to go here by continuously putting it off, like, we're going to get something in there one day. It's going to be cool. I promise you guys. And that kind of puts that added pressure to really, produce something cool. And I think we did. This is one of those exceptions where this just flowed right along with the ride, like the way it was supposed to, and kind of, greeting you as you come in the land, essentially walking under the station and, into the Grizzly Gulch area, and, Grizzly Peak Mine kind of staring you down over here. So that was definitely on, as I said last night, a big checklist mark done now, besides, withholding the interior. But I think you guys know what I mean. We are very, very pleased with Bearpaw Cafe and just its presence right here on this corner. And it is so theme park like, and it just, it flows. We nailed it right here. And other than that, there has been a lot of probably unnoticeable tweaks. Changed out some tree styles here at the Springs. Moved a couple little trees around. Changed some landscaping. My buddy Casey from Instagram, he was always asking, like, man, you should definitely, like, your monorail needs to have more trains. So I finally took the time to come in and I increased the station length, and now we have 4 monorail cars. So changed up the color a little bit, got rid of that boring white, and so now the monorail can bring more people from the water park over. And what else did I mess with? This was another one of those weeks where a lot got done towards the end of the week. Not that I didn't have a bunch of time, like I did, remember last week, it was just crazy. I was not hardly down here at all. But this week, I would say Wilderness Springs just kind of faced more tinkering than big projects. Of course, we capped it off with Bearpaw at the end, but, as far as my week work goes, just tinkering, just trying different path styles, nothing that I don't think would be terribly too noticeable. Besides that cafe, we will get this updated on the workshop for you. And thank you guys for keeping this. Like, this thing is like still on that trending page. So that is very, very cool to see. And, last week we haven't really messed over here with the queue anymore. Big shout out to Jur with his saddleback springs, kind of like his Western little facade pieces that we're using over here on the side of the mine. Very, very cool little area over there that, needs a little bit more attention, but, we'll get there. Your main street little area, like I said, nothing too major, just some tree swap outs. For anybody that is new, Wilderness Springs is basically a dual property resort. You have the you have your theme park over here on this side of the highway, and we have a water park over here, and it's basically kind of split. It's got a spine of this highway over here, and we've got some shopping. We've got a little Bass Pro Shop that's going in over here that we've been working on just for like some outside retail opportunities over here. We've got a little Cracker Barrel and, more stuff planned for over this way. And I was even thinking about telling you guys, if we needed more room for like a little shopping district or like a little island area, kind of like Island Pigeon Forge. Remember, the map goes all the way out here to this little edge. So if we wanted to make it like a farther back little shopping district with, shops on each side of the road, still have plenty of space back here to do that. Obviously we'll just kind of flatten it out and, try to blend it in with that mountain back there. But definitely we left ourselves enough space out here. I still want to develop Yan BK's restaurant out here somewhere. And then of course, I really, really want to try that 1950s style jukebox junction land that is going to kind of sit right out here after you get out of Grizzly Gulch. So, once you make your way out through here, this is kind of where I want the 50s land to start. And I kind of want to do a launch coaster out there. Nothing's changed with Legend of Thunder Falls right now. Still kind of have it on a holding pattern until I kind of feel like getting back over here and messing with it again. My buddy Herman, he has laid out a pretty cool little ground queue for me that I'll be able to theme around and kind of get a proper station in. So I still have to get that downloaded and get it put in and see what it looks like over here. But nothing's really changed with Timberwolf's Revenge. That's kind of like Thunder Falls' little companion attraction over here. Very, very fun wooden coaster. And have not really, don't think I've messed with anything over here. Did a little bit of work on the, just kind of like a little bit around the track, added some rock work, kind of added a little old rickety brown fence over here on the edge of the woods right there. Like I said, a lot of little nitpicky things. I think what is going to massively increase my workload, and, some of you guys may argue, well, why, you don't have to. Why would you kind of put yourself through that? And that is when we get the recolorable rocks. Unfortunately, like forever, I have wanted darker tanned rocks like this. It's kind of a little harder to see too in this light. Let me go to like maybe lunchtime. Just see how bright that rock is. I want to come in, and because the problem is I don't think this is going to be recolorable. From what I understand, there is a set of rocks that are going to be recolorable that you'll be able to mess with. I know in my brain I can make all of these white rocks look better if I could just darken them a little bit. And the problem is every one of these is going to have to be removed and replaced with the style of darker rock like I'm envisioning that's going to come in update 5. So there's just a lot of little areas. Particularly, I'm going to have to go ham over here in the water park area, just because, like I said, if you guys just trust the process, I know it's going to be like, probably you're going to be like, man, that's going to take up so much time of you not building new stuff. But I think when I get these rocks changed out and I get that color that I'm envisioning in my head, you guys are going to think it's worth it. And I think that's almost what's going to trigger me into getting over here and really starting kind of on the water park revamp is when I can do those recolorable rocks. That is really what your boy S. Dan is waiting on. And that is going to be, it's going to be a lot of work, but I think it is going to be so freaking worth it. Because this is just too bright. I get it. It's, you know, like for a Mediterranean style, that really kind of high, bright, washed kind of limestone look, you know, wonderful. But for what I'm trying to do and kind of what I'm envisioning, yeah, I need to go ahead and get in there and make that darker. And you can see there is going to be, if I decide to go through with it, it is going to be quite a bit of work to get rid of all of these bright rocks. But, you know, we'll go back and say it again. That's why we're not really on any, you know, time lapse with this or, you know, time frame. We are just going to make it the best we can while we're taking advantage of Wilderness Springs 2.0, our little revamp here. Oh, and a lot of you guys were asking me, like, as far as like, Stan, how do you get those slow cinematic shots? Well, the one thing that that I would suggest doing is, where is it? You have in here, yeah, your edge scrolling. If you'll go in and turn your edge scrolling on, now this is on PC, of course, and turn your speed all the way down to 1, that is how you get your very slow cinematic shots. So remember, Control-Shift-G gets rid of your interface, and then you can see my little mouse. What I do is I take it and I get it right up to the edge, to the top of the screen. You have to be really precise with this or it goes too fast. So let me even just stop talking a second. Inch it closer. And there you go. Let go. Like my hand is not touching anything right now. Not on the keyboard, not on the mouse. You essentially, to get these cinematic shots on this style, you let the mouse drift. So don't touch anything. Get it rolling, and then here's your very slow cinematic shot. Which, you know, I love this angle. My buddy Poe, he gets on to me about not doing a lot of like walk-arounds in first person, but I just love these mid-level bird's eye aerial shots. That is just so cool. But yeah, like I said, the proudest thing I am of this week, undoubtedly, it has to be Bearpaw Cafe. Just the way we were able to work this out and fill this little corner right here that has kind of been that has been bugging me for a while. So yeah, guys, that is it. That is your State of Wilderness Springs Saturday at the Springs. I hope you guys have a good weekend. I'm gonna get off here, edit this real quick, and I'd say by early this afternoon, probably by lunchtime, you guys can jump in and upload the update the May 3rd version of Wilderness Springs. And yeah, appreciate the support, guys. I will catch you in the next video. See ya.